Oh, I hated that. Oh, oh, that sucked. Oh my god. Ew. Ew, 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 ew. Oh. Oh. I don't know if y'all heard that. I really hope you didn't. Oh. Geo! Oh, that was so loud. Hold on, I need to do the notification thing real quick. Oh. Hi. What's been going on, brother? Ah, shit. You look good, man. I'm good. We're good. We're good. I really think that week off really was beneficial for me. Eh. Yeah, I'm just kind of letting shit be the way it be, and I'm striving to do some other shit that would be dope. Let me turn my music down, actually, which is pretty based. Oh fuck. There we go. But yeah, we're just kind of vibing. What have you been up to, brother? The only thing is, like, when I look at myself on camera, I wish I just had a little more definition going on. Like, I definitely, it's like I have it, but like the light is all fucky wucky. Like, I need my shadows. Bow bow. I'm working bro off today because my boss went to the hospital yesterday. Base that you're not working sucks for him. Oh man. But where the fuck is the tea, bro? I haven't been drinking like my caffeine. I don't know. I just don't feel like I've been needing it. I have good old H2O, man. Nothing can beat it. Uh, what else is what else is happening? Um, um, uh, good because caffeine will give you more of a receding hairline, brother. Oh man, and I need to like, dude. It's so weird because like my dad's hairline is kind of fucked. My mom's like on my mom's side, the hair gene is pretty solid. Like it's very like plentiful, but the hairline I got from my it's like I feel like if I do this, like I got my dad's hairline. You feel me? I definitely got my dad's hairline, but I got my mom's like hair thickness. So I don't know if it. Okay, okay. What you know? What that brings up a good question. What would you rather have? A fucked up hairline but really good hair, or really bad hair and really bad hair and a good hairline? I feel like I'd take the bad hairline personally, right? Because like it can grow out, and like you run your hands through, it feels good. It's still your hair, still good enough for someone to pull on. Oh man, I've been. Oh, you haven't been around for the like. I've been working to get my driver's license. I've also been trying to get some get some financial licenses. Small dick but good looking dude or ugly dude with a big cock. How are we talking like fat ugly or are we talking like what kind of ugly are we talking? I how small are we talking? Man, you're kind of batting zero on both of them. Why am I thinking about this so much? I'm kind of leaning towards ugly because you can take steps to make yourself look better, like baby alien ugly. But if you're like literally putrid to look at, but I also want to use it, you know, like that's a predicament. Because I'm kind of putting I'm in the situation that I'm in now. Because like I have completely stopped jacking off for like I've been going strong for like 2.5 weeks now. This is the longest stint I've ever been on. Mm. That's because in both situations you don't get like the thing you want. You know, like you're good looking, but I know it's like cool. Like there's some women that are gonna be okay with it, but if you're literally talking like it's like like practically concave, you know, like shit, man. Like it's like you can have a hog, but it won't fucking matter if you're like literally just inhuman looking. And like the worst thing that can happen for you socially is that you're ugly. Like that really, like I'm gonna like that is like one of the hardest truths of life is that if you're ugly, you're screwed. Man, all it's just like fuck, dude. 1 to 10. Okay, so I have the benefit of like looking back at how bad dude. I was like, okay, like back when I was fat, like you know the picture I'm talking about. You've seen it. I would say back. I'm going from back then to now. I would say from back then, I felt like a 4, like definitely a 4, maybe a 5. Like I was just kind of. I think now maybe I'm like a 6, maybe a 6.5. I don't know. It's definitely gone up. It's definitely gone up. I don't know. I feel like I feel like I'm very like lowballing it. I feel like have you seen those videos of like what would men rate themselves? Most men I think rate themselves a 6. I think even back then I would have given myself like a 4 or 5 because like I was just awful. Like it was I had greasy fucking hair. I was fat. It was oh it was bad. I didn't work out, dude. It was so bad, dude. Like why? It's like it was really bad. I was like the worst thing is like having a sex drive like what's on the agenda today? I have no idea. Right now, I'm just shooting the shit with you. Like it's really bad when you're like not good looking and you have the sex drive of a fucking bunny. Like, oh god, you gotta like that's like the biggest thing to work out. It's just like, dude, if you're, it's like if you're ugly and you're fat, try losing the weight. You might not be ugly. Like real shit. Like, dude, if I was streaming back then when I was fat, I like, dude, there's streams like when I started streaming, I would never wear like a tank top ever, ever, ever. It was dude, it was so bad because like I was fat, greasy, and I was like hairy. I was just a fucking Neanderthal. Like I was Bigfoot. It was like I used to be on the side of like, oh, manscaping's for fucking pussies. Manscaping's for fairies. You're not a man. And I'm like, dude, the second I took a razor to my chest, I was like, oh my god. I am 6 foot. I am 6 foot. I crossed the line. I crossed the threshold. I am now of value to a breeding female. That is the gayest thing I've ever said. That's it. That's it. That's on the board. God, you should take me outside and shoot me. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. Ooh. But like, dude, like, oh, oh my god. Just like I would rather deal with like the weekly like grooming process of like shaving my chest, my back, my fucking pits, dude. Like, dude, like it's like one of those things where I'm just like it just turns into hygiene at one point. Cause like, dude, like hygiene products work better like the less body hair you have. Like, bro, like I would have like this deodorant that would just like I was like, oh, this sucks. It doesn't work. And then I shaved my pits for the first time, and I'm like, oh wow, it actually works really well. It's fucking really it's really sad. Like I was like not. I have come so far from where I used to be. Holy shit! Don't knock it till you fucking try it. Seriously, seriously, seriously. Oh my god, I was a complete amoeba on the scale of just like understanding. Like it feels nice, which is why I cringe. Dude, it makes me cringe and gag even more when I see like a girl with hairy pits, because I'm like, you know, it doesn't feel good. You know, it doesn't feel hygienic. You know, it's gross. Like like I am a hairy motherfucker. Like if I let all of this shit grow out, like it's hey, it's like the other thing is just like if you get it to like a certain length, then it's like you get that kind of like 70s porn star kind of vibe, and then it's okay. But then anything past that is like no, no, uh. But like here's one thing though: every man should shave their junk. Every man should. Every man has to. One I can admit though is I shaved my butt. That's like the next step. Is that like the only thing is I don't have like a razor that I'm willing to use on there on my ass. Like that's the only thing. That's like the only thing. But I know it will feel so much better. I need like a dedicated razor to your if you're shaving your ass, like you need a dedicated razor to that. No more dingleberries, dude. Dude, it's like that is like the one place I'm just like fuck, man. I need to get back there. It's really just giving. It's the only thing that's stopping me is like having to use like getting electric I need an electric razor dedicated to that process. I use toilet paper that sprays water into your. Oh, a bidet. I've never used a bidet, but I got wipes, bro. Dude, the second like you get wet wipes, it's like your game is all different. Felt so fucking weird. Did you learn something about yourself? Dude wipes for the win. Every guy who doesn't use like wet wipes of some kind, dude wipes, doesn't matter, like baby wipes, anything. Like you are fucking missing out, man. Like that just like it's just you just feel so much fresher. You just feel good. Like you just feel better. You just feel better. That's all that matters. But like, man, I need to get back on my fucking like my fucking search for fucking relationships and shit. Like I just stopped. Like out of no, like I really did just like kind of stopped. I had like a not great experience, and then I'm just like, nah, fuck that, dude. Like normal fucking TP just doesn't do it, man. It just doesn't. Like you can't get that same feeling. Ever since, dude, I ever since I started really working out, like I got on a really good workout routine, and I started a high protein diet. Like my shits are fucking spotless. Seriously, like, and dude, that is the biggest fucking like that's my gold star, dude. Is that like seriously? I haven't had like a bad shit in a while, knock on wood. Dude, there's nothing. I like, dude, like your go-to, like I like we have Charmin, like the really soft one. I use like two squares. I use two squares. I get one. There's nothing, and then I take a wet wipe, and then like I'm like, sweet, I'm good. These are not conversations that just women have. You know, you ever think about that? Like women just don't sit there talking about their shit. Hey man, high protein diet, working out. That's what it does. I fucking love this song. But like seriously, man, that's all it takes. Like once I started losing like a lot of the bad fat in my body, like my shits were just like no more constipation, no more nothing. Now the step above that is that like I just need to shave my ass. Once I shave my ass, like it literally will be like you could eat off of it. Like seriously, like my lower half is like the last place I still have body hair. Like seriously. Like that's it. That's it. Like my legs and ass, but my dick, like my dick and balls, my fucking crotch is completely fine. It's like a mirrored surface. listen, listen. Let's be real, man. You could be you could be the virgin to end all virgins, right? And you'll still shave your junk because of an unexpected blowjob. The possibility, even if it's just like a 0.0000001% chance, you still shave your nuts for that one reason. You do. Don't lie about it. You do. You do. And then the other percent is hygiene. The other percent is hygiene, but everyone does it for the same reason. Like, dude, like I don't have I have like little to no contact with like other women, and it's still for that reason. It is still for that fucking reason. Like a part of me is just like it just makes sense to your monkey brain, you know? You're just like, I want to be ready because I don't want to fucking you don't want to pull your pants down and just go like, oh, who fired the gardener? Dude, I would clean shave like all the time. I think like when I got like my first pube, like I had to shave. Like it was just it started out as hygiene, then you slowly get older. And then you make that fatal mistake for one time. Every man makes this mistake at least once in their life. And if you haven't made this mistake yet, you're just asking for it. Snipping your nuts on accident either with a pair of scissors or with an electric razor. Every man does it at least once. And that humbles you. It humbles you. Hey, everyone starts with a pair of scissors. Everyone has that pair of bathroom scissors that like everyone knows. It's like you don't use for like anything else. You don't touch them because you know exactly what they're used for. Oh, dude, I started my cold shower game. I've now started to enjoy it. It's weird. It's really weird. Like I started doing it after my workouts now. But I feel like definitely like I feel like my shoulders like just like anywhere like I just feel bigger, you know? Like I just feel like the blood flows better. I just feel like everything's just better, bigger and better, brother. But yeah, cold showers suck. The thing the so I take it like a step further and I start it hot, right? I start the shower to get like in, and then like halfway through the shower, I swing it to the cold side. Sorry, bro. I'd rather stick my stick to my hot 30-minute showers. No, I get it. I get it, man. I get it. I think it okay. It's two things. It's more of like if you jump into a cold shower, you're a psycho because there's something about just initially getting wet and being immediately cold really sucks. But like if you're already wet and then swinging it to the cold side, it still sucks, but for some reason it sucks less. It doesn't really it still shocks the body, but it's not like the initial like, oh, uh it's like, oh, I'm suddenly wet. I feel like that's more or less what it is. But what were they talking about? Oh my god. I need it. There's so many things like I want to do more of because like we got that vision in mind, you know what I mean? And like, bro, we need to get there. We need to get there. We need to do our best. Like fuck, man. Like I just think about like what are the next steps, right? Like I'm thinking about it like so like I'm taking some financial license exams so I can actually like be a are you going to get a job? I'm taking some financial license exams to be an actual registered financial money manager and financial advisor. Because the biggest reason is one, I'm fucking good at it, and two, they literally like every single like Indeed thing, like requires like they require you to either have the license. They need you to have these licenses, and they don't really give a shit about a formal education. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like a good handful of the Indeed job applications, like there is no like tab for education. I'm sure it would help, right? But like if you have all of these licenses, you're like, oh shit, like I'm good. Like you pass these tests that are like really important because you're certified at that point. So like that's what I'm going after now, and I'm also trying to get my license. Those are like the two things because like I need more freedom, and like oh dude, because like I tried like a while like like months ago now. Like I was like trying to do like the whole Tinder Bumble thing because I'm trying to meet people, and it didn't. It was just like I was just constantly running into the same wall over and over and over again of just like okay, what do I do if I do connect with someone? I can't see them. You know, like I can't like I like you could take Ubers and all that shit, but like you know, like I can't like go there whenever I want. Like I can't just like hop in a car and drive there. You know what I mean? Like that shit was fucking eating me. That shit was fucking eating me. And like also just not being able to like pay for shit. I'm sure your mom gave you the minivan. So she's kind of like half on it. So okay, that's like a completely separate or not a completely separate thing, but the we've talked about so she brought up like getting like kind of going halvesies on a car and we but it would really help if like I had more money coming in, you know? Cuz if I had more money coming in this wouldn't be really an issue, which is more in so like the whole goal. So here's the goal I want to do with the financial advisor shit is I want to get these licenses and then go freelance. Because the thing is that I have a lot of really good friends, and even though I'm not an actively social person right now, I still have a lot of really good connections that I have built up over the years who I am still like in contact with. So, like that's like a huge thing for me. It's like $50 a month. I'll set up your retirement plan for you. You don't have to pay attention to it. Like I need to figure out like kind of like the logistics of having to do that, and while doing that, getting the licenses. Um, but the goal would be to go full freelance and just because like I still don't want to work for people, you know, like I don't want a boss. Like I'm really bad at just like kind of, you know, like like taking that responsibility or just taking that like overseer thing. Like I don't do very well with that. Exactly. I need to be the boss. I need to have my own hours. And the beauty of being like a financial advisor is just like pick up the phone when you need to, when someone has a question, kind of guide them through it, do it for them if they want you to, like set up the accounts for them, like basically just be the guy that does it all for them because like that's the thing is that like I try and do it for like my close network of friends where I've been trying to get them on their retirement shit, right? And I've been like writing their ass about it, and they just don't do it. And I'm like, dude, if you fucking okay, like if you give me like $50 a month, I will literally do it for you. I will literally do it for you, and you don't have to like. But there's that. Here's the thing about being a financial planner, advisor, and a money manager, is you need to build this trust right off the bat with something that people are very close and tight about. You know what I mean? So like it's a very like that's why the licenses are important because it immediately builds that trust of like, oh, you know what you're talking about. You can become your own financial advisor. Exactly. Like I would literally just like I was talking to like my therapist the other day, and she has a client who basically does what I described, and he's like, oh, he's very like incredibly successful, like because it's literally what I do already. It's what I do already. I mean, it's crazy. And it's like substantially less effort than like being an accountant, you know what I mean? Like being an accountant, like you have to like actually go to college and shit for. Like you have to go to college. Like being a financial money manager, financial planner, anything, like you're basically just like you just need these licenses, like registering yourself and just being like, listen, I'm legit. Like, because even if it's like one person, even if it's like a few people, even if it's like fucking $10 a month, it's consistent income every single month. You know, like I would love my day to day to just be like, oh, I'm like just checking people's accounts, like run through the morning, like check an account, 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 move some money around, which isn't like, you know, yeah, but like I just need to figure out some logistics about a lot of it and what specific licenses I need. I would hire you, but I manage very good. And that's the thing is that like it's totally up to the beauty of it is that at the end of the day, it's still your money, it's still your power. I'm just the guy. Is that if you give me a green light, I'm gonna go. You know, like that's the whole purpose of it. Is that if you just like, it's like okay, I want to make a good amount of money, or I'd like to make about 5%. I want to make about 5% this year. And I'm like, okay, depends on how much money you're playing with. You know, like 5% could either be made in a day or it could be made over a year. But anything more than 5%, you're basically fucking dreaming. And like that's the thing is that like I can do like in and out shit if that if it. So like a lot of these licenses basically are more or less just like them asking you this same question over and over and over, two questions over and over and over again. What is the best route for you and your client relations? That is like the biggest question that I see over and over and over and over again. And the entire time, the right answer always the right answer is discuss discuss risk tolerance with your client. That is always if it has anything to do with risk tolerance, that's the right answer. They're kind of the tests are framed up almost exactly like a DMV written test. Like imagine that, like multiple choice, like just kind of basic questions. If you know sort of thing. Um. Also, and then the other thing is like they drill it in your head. Don't steal money from people. 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 You will go to jail for a long time. You will have all of your licenses, dude. Like it is such a bad thing to do that. Okay, so like this is how badly it kind of fucks you up. Um, if you steal money from your clients as a financial planner or advisor, right? Not only can and will go to jail, they can countersuit you to get the money back. Would you still? No, no, because I've had money stolen from me. It's not fun. It's a fucking awful feeling. It's like I don't want to do that. Like I want you to trust me. And like that's the thing is that the second you steal money from people, your name is now plastered as like this fucker steals money from people. And then like you also can't, I don't think you can get a job in that industry ever again. Ever again. Like you are completely blacklisted from that line of work. So like even it's like dude, if a quick buck is too good to be true, it definitely is. That's the thing is that there's no such thing as easy money. There is no such thing cuz like I saw like so have you did you see about the Cash App glitch that people were dealing with? If not, hold on, let me see. Hold on, I want so no one's made like a compilation yet. So okay, here, get this shit. So Cash App, you know Cash App, right? Everyone knows what Cash App is. So what happened was Cash App. Oh. Right, I forgot that we were doing iRacing yesterday. Cash App uh had this glitch where you could send any amount of money to yourself. And people thought that Cash App, when the glitch was fixed, would honor that money lending. They would, and basically what happened is when Cash App fixed the glitch, people lost thousands. Watch this. Dude, it's so funny. It's so funny. It's so good. And so, here's the thing is that how many of those people, right, who you saw lose 38,000, 60,000, X amount of dollars, right? How many of those people you think know how to settle that? Not a single fucking one. There is no way they know how to settle that because it's going to pull the money out of your bank account. It's literally you are ruining your generation like one button press at a time. It's crazy. And it's written in their terms of service, so Cash App's not going to face any legal action. It's explicitly written. You have an overdrawn account, you're going to start losing money. This turned into Cash App probably making the most money it's ever made ever. Like, because there's going to be fees attached to it and shit. There's going to be so much going on and going wrong that they're just going to be like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Like, if you did, I really hope that you talked to me first. Just finish building the fucking wardrobe. Let's go. Like, just shoot me. You shot me a text, I would have just been like, probably don't do it. Because, again, if it's too good to be true, especially with money, man, dude, it's like, it's seriously, I cannot stress it enough. There's no such thing as making $1 million overnight. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as any of this shit. There's no such thing. It takes years to make $1 million overnight. It takes fucking years to make a quick buck. That's all it is. That's all it is. Because like they're gonna like they because like here's the thing is that it's gonna tank your credit score, it's gonna tank your bank account, it's gonna tank your fucking everything, dude. And they don't know how to settle, you know? Like a lot of these people will never know how to settle the balance. Like you're going to need to like maybe even hire a financial lawyer to get out of this. And then you're going to be in more debt because you have to pay the lawyer somehow, you know? So and like they're going to probably charge you fees for overdraw. Imagine like half a year of your paycheck cuz that guy who lost $38,000, right? Half a year, if you were in a stable job making $30 an hour, maybe $35 an hour, half of your paycheck for that year is going to just be paying off Cash App. Half of your paycheck. Every single time. Gone, 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 gone. Like, that's gonna, like, dude. I'm so fucking tired. I bet. It's literally, and like, if you settle, at least it's like, okay, well, just pay for what you spent, like pay for what you owe, you know, like just pay for what you owe. How much did you spend? I bought a car with the Cash App money, and you're just like, return the car. I don't want to. And dude, like I love the world of finance because it's like it's crazy what lack of financial literacy does to people. Like people are like, tax the rich, eat the rich, and I'm like, learn how the tax code works. Learn how to make a dollar. Learn how to save it. Learn to stop spending. Learn to budget. Fucking educate yourself. It's all readily available on the internet. It's fucking retarded how bad it is. I don't want to. It's scary. Like, fine, stay broke forever. My back hasn't hurt since last year when school went to those wood shares. Dude, Cash App is wrong, though, for letting that glitch slide. They weren't! They weren't letting it slide. They said they were actively fixing it. That's what started the whole thing. I think it was like, it was less than a week. It was like less than a week. It was like legitimately like less than a week. Like, there's no such thing. But it's common sense, you know? Like, that's the thing, is that, like, yes, there is blame on Cash App, you know? There is. Um, there is blame on Cash App. Like, the fiduciary responsibility to not steal money from your clients. We literally just talked about this. There is a responsibility. But here's the thing about a fiduciary responsibility is at some point, that is true. That's something they could have done. But in doing so, they would have lost money for downtime. And on the business side of things, they're never going to do that. God, IKEA needs better manuals. So that's the biggest problem. And at some point, there is blame to be placed on the victim, right? That's the thing. Is that once you start pulling money out, like, dude, if you're pulling out tens of thousands of dollars, like literally tens of thousands of dollars, there should be just like a little voice in your head saying like, it can't possibly be this easy. Like, you have to think about the entity on the other end paying for it, you know? That's the thing, is there's something on the other end paying for it. and they have to honor that payment one way or another. And if you're withdrawing tens of thousands of dollars, like one of those screenshots was $65,000. There's like they're not going to honor that. They're not going to honor that. And it's like if you somehow spend that $10,000, they're like you're just digging your own grave at that point. So that's the blame of the victim, you know, because that's why terms of service is a thing, you know, like if you somehow overdrawn your Cash App to the point where they are now pulling money out of your own account, that's on you. Like that literally, like morally speaking, is wrong, right? It's wrong. It sucks. But legally speaking, you're screwed. That's the thing. That's the thing. Like as someone who studies this subject and is really well versed in it, there are faults on both sides, but at some point the faults kind of teeter. That's the thing. And is it more of a fault of the company or is it more of a fault of the victim? And if it's more of the fault of the company, congratulations, you're going to get a huge settlement. Like that's usually how it works. You're going to get a massive settlement from whatever company it is. But if there's more blame on the victim, I'm sure there's going to be some form of legal suit that has something to do with this because there's going to be people that are like, well, I don't have $38,000, I don't have $60,000, I don't have $100,000. You know, they don't have that money, so they're going to have to settle in some way. That's what the lawsuit's going to be. But Cash App probably won't have to pay them any money because you fucked up. Like they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything wrong. That's the thing. Is they did do something wrong, but they didn't do something wrong. Like that's why like okay, like if I it like when I'm trading for clients, you know, like when I'm moving money around and I take money from their account to immediately deposit it into my own personal account and they catch me doing that and I go to court or jail for it, I have to pay them back and then some. So that's the thing. So like it's like if it was just one person, right? If it was just like one person, then the person who was the victim would have an actual suit against Cash App. They would have an actual like legal battle. But the fact that it was so many people really actually hinders the help that they would receive. When Robinhood, so you know Robinhood, the fucking trading app, right? When Robinhood first became a thing, um, a very similar, a very, 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 very similar trend happened. You should become a lawyer. Well, this is why I'm getting my licenses. This is so like because I can help you through these things. That's why I'm getting these licenses. Um, and besides, I don't have the patience to go to school to be a lawyer. That's a big one. Um, when people realize, so on Robinhood, it was a little more complicated, but it was still the same thing. Um, basically, okay, what would happen is, let me try and get this right. You would sell puts for credit, right? Credit is money you don't currently have, right? So we'll leave it at that. Credit is money you don't currently have. So you would sell a put. So you would want the stock price to go up, right? And the glitch is if you let it expire, if you let it expire, the Robinhood would buy the worthless contract for what you paid for it, and then it would also pay the liquid. It would pay for the liquid profit, the theoretical profit of the contract, right? And what people realized is that there was no spending limit on the credit. So people were doing this with 100 contracts. They were doing it with 1,000 contracts, like hand over fist, one after another. And there was a screenshot. There was a screenshot of a guy who had an account of $10,000 and in a month had an account of over $1,000,000 because he did this glitch over and over and over and over again. And it was literally like about 10 people. It was not a lot of people who knew about this glitch because a lot of people were like, this is, you can't just steal, because it was basically stealing money from Robinhood. So you couldn't do that. That was like a big thing. Like you couldn't steal, like people were like, you're stealing money from them. Like they're not going to honor this trade. At some point it's going to burn. And like a lot of people were like, it's going to burn you. And basically what happened is Robinhood fixed this glitch, but before they fixed it, they informed people that like, oh, we know what you're doing. It's not going to work. We're currently fixing it, and people were still doing it. That's the thing. It was like it was a new user license agreement. That's what it was. And in that user license agreement, it was basically saying, we know what you're doing. We know how you're doing it. We are currently fixing it. And if you proceed to keep doing it, we will take money. We will take the money back from you. Like you will have to still pay for this trade one way or another. That's what it came down to. And then and like a few days later, the glitch was fixed. And the people who really like dug into it went from balances of like 1.8 million to being negative in the hundreds of thousands because they were worthless contracts that they were selling over and over and over again. See, the beauty of options contracts though is that you can settle. You're still gonna have to pay out something, but there's no free money. That's the thing. There's no free money. It's never gonna come out of nowhere. And people got burnt. I want to. Oh man, like how do I even look for that? Because I remember seeing screenshots from it. Robinhood screen glitch. Robinhood trader commits suicide. No, was it that one? Was it the Robinhood commits suicide? That was another one. Because it was really it was a millions in gains on Tesla, YOLO, and Robinhood. Ugh. It's hard to say. It's a really there were screenshots of like people like up like $1.8 million, and then like the next day, void $50 on black, $50 on black. Started a rant on how much Vegas is losing. Oh, dude. Oh my god, that makes me, dude. Oh my god. Oh, it's one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest It's one of the biggest cyber cracks of our generation, dude. And it's like going completely unnoticed. Well, I feel like it is noticed for a little bit, but for the most part, it's not. Um, Las Vegas hack. The MGM Las Vegas. Hold on. MGM hack losses. The last MGM experience cyber attack was back in personal information, 142 million guests. MGM Resort. How much money did they lose? Oh, it seems like they went after. They didn't go for money. That's unfortunate. It wasn't actually money. They went after clients' profiles. MGM talent. Not a good week in Vegas. Room upgrade denied. MGM cyber attack 2023. Cyber attack shuts down MGM Resort. Forces system shut down at MGM hotels and casinos. Hacker claims it only took a 10-minute phone call to shut down the MGM Resort. So it seems like they're after. That's unfortunate. They're only after. Hi, Lawless. So it seems like they're only after their accounts. So many girls. Bro, but it's like I'm sure, I am positive that like I'm sure like cuz here's the thing is that a lot of people don't know this, but a casino works like a bank. Is that they can give you a loan. Is that they can a casino is legally allowed to give you a loan to continue to gamble. That is something that you can do. So any money that would have been stolen is protected by certain FINRA agreements because like up to a certain amount of money. So if the MGM did lose money of like a couple $100 million, like a lot of that money is actually insured. But if the client's money was stolen, that's a different thing. So if the client's money is stolen, then they're insured up to about I want to say like $250,000. So it's like if someone steals like, I mean, how many people have $250,000 in liquid cash? You know, like that's probably why they went after the accounts. Because if you go after the accounts, there's not really anything that. Why would you have an account at the MGM? Like they want credit card. They want your credit card information. That's what they want. Because it's easier. It's easier to steal information from one or two like hand-picked people than it is from a big corporation like the MGM. Like the MGM is like one of the biggest casinos, hotels, resorts on the strip. You know? That's the thing. So it's really just more or less like, and let's be real, if you stole any amount of money from a casino, they're going to see it. Dude, they are so precise. It honestly, dude, it is probably harder to steal money from a casino than it is a bank. Because a bank is guaranteed insured. A bank, here's the thing, is that when you rob a bank and like you're robbing them for the actual cash value, right? If you broke into a bank, right? Guns a-blazing, shooting the place at whatever. You're robbing the bank and they hand you duffel bags of like millions of dollars. Like millions of dollars of cash, bonds, and gold and like precious metals. Every single dollar is insured. Every single dollar you stole is insured because it's not the bank's money. It's the clientele of the bank's money. So it starts compounding. So for every dollar that was stolen, the bank is insured. So that's the thing. So, but when you steal from a casino, they're not technically a bank. So if you steal money from them, they're insured to a certain extent, but they're not insured like a bank is. Like you rob a bank, no one it is almost a victimless crime when you rob a bank. Like especially back in like when banks really like were tight about cash. Like if you robbed a bank in the 80s or 90s, like, and you actually got away with it, it was more or less a victimless crime, especially if you didn't kill anybody. Um, like you would steal the money, and then like that was it. Like you would have the money. They couldn't track it. They couldn't do anything about it. Like you just had the money. They were insured. But now, if you steal the money, like first of all, a lot of banks don't have liquid cash. A lot of banks, like I would say, like every single bank, every major bank that like you go to doesn't have $1 million in cash. There aren't, dude. I swear to God, there aren't even bank trucks that hold that much money. I think the most like the most amount of money a bank truck can hold is probably about $450,000. Yeah, some do. If you're like in a major city, right? If you're in Los Angeles or New York City, right? And you walk into a major bank, yeah, they're probably going to have $1 million in cash in there. I would say about like 90% of them don't, though. They really don't. I swear to God, they don't. Like your local credit union doesn't have $1 million. Your local Chase, that small little building on the corner, absolutely doesn't have $1 million. The U.S. Bank building, on the other hand, in Los Angeles, that might have $1 million in it. Charles Schwab, the Charles Schwab building in New York City, yeah, that probably has $1 million in it. It's more location. But the thing, like, so we're robbing it. We're robbing a bank. I'm down. But it's like at some point it's not worth it. It's easier to take over a bank truck because a bank truck's gonna be, like it's a truck. There's only 3 or 4 armed guards. You know what the real dude? Like, this is the thing. You ever see those things of like, why wasn't I born in like 1949? Bank truck guys have guns, and the fucking guards at the bank don't. Come on, everyone has a gun. You just have a bigger one. But see, like, okay, get this. If you were born in 1949, this is like the ideal year to be born, by the way. If you were born in 1949, you would be 20 years old by the summer of love, right? 20 years old. You dodge every major war unless you're drafted for Vietnam. You dodged every single major war in US history. If you just draft dodged the Vietnam War, you missed it all. So, at that point, okay, like ignoring all the good shit, if you robbed a bank in 1967 and someone did, there were people that did do this. One of the biggest bank robberies in Japanese history. The reason this guy, one person. It was one person. Get this. This is what this bank robbery was. A guy didn't even steal it. He bought a Honda motorcycle from 1967, right? 1967, 69. And he painted it to look like a police officer motorcycle. And he had a police officer's uniform. He stopped a bank truck on the way to do a deposit at a bank. He stopped them, red flashing light, whole fucking shebang. It was one person. Said, get out of the truck, there's a bomb. Get out of the truck, there's a bomb. With no credentials or anything. Nothing. They completely got out of the truck. They completely vacated the truck, and the guy pretending to be a cop just goes, okay, I'm going to drive it away to safety because it was in a rural area. It was a rural area, and the guy just drove the bank truck away. And then they realized, oh fuck, we just let someone drive away in a bank truck that had over $1 million in it. It had over $1 million in it. And the guards were like, Oh fuck. Oh shit, we fucked up. We fucked up really badly. And they called the police. They're like, hey, we just had an officer tell us there was a bomb on our truck and he drove away with it. And they're like, what? And they sent people over. They were like, okay, well, which way did you go? He went that way. And someone found the bank truck deserted in a field, completely empty. It was completely empty. No one knows what happened to the guy. No one has any idea what happened to him. It is one of the most clean bank robberies to ever happen ever. There was no photo of the guy, and the driver and both the guards of the bank truck didn't know what he looked like because he was wearing a surgical mask. And he was wearing a hat and wearing a surgical mask. The only thing they saw were his eyes. That was it. They had no idea, because the other thing, this dude was really smart. This dude was incredibly intelligent. So when he bought the bike, he never registered it. He never registered, so there was never a name. And then when he stole the money out of the bank truck, the only lead the Japanese police officers knew was that there was a blue Toyota Camry that drove away. It was a blue Toyota Camry that drove away from the scene. And when they found the car, there was a name attached to it. But it was registered to an 84-year-old dead man. And the car was fully paid off and registered. So they had no idea. They had no idea at that point whose car it was. They have no idea. They had no clue. And like, there's so many theories. Like, because at this point now, if the guy is still alive, if the guy who committed the bank robbery is still alive, he won't go to jail. He won't go to jail because the time, I forgot what the term is, but the time spent in jail, he's already spent as a free man. So there's no, he doesn't have to go to jail. So, homie stole, like, get this, he stole over $1 million in 1969. Statute of limitations, thank you. Imagine having $1 million in cash. In cash and gold in 1969. He could have done whatever the fuck he wanted. Dude, a plane ticket was probably $20. He could have gone to any country in the world. He could have gone to any country in the world with a backpack with $1 million in it. She statue on my limitations till I'm free. True. Dude, like, if you were born in 1949, you were literally the most free person to ever exist, ever. Like, he could have gone anywhere. He could have gone anywhere. He could have bought a villa in Hawaii if he wanted to. Like, that was the theory. The leading theory is that the guy stole the money, converted the gold to cash, flew to Hawaii, and bought like an estate in Hawaii, and just pocketed the rest of it. And because the only legitimacy of the whole thing is that there was a Japanese guy who bought like acres of land in Hawaii at the time, at like a really convenient time, just kind of out of the blue, and no one knew who he was. And they were just like, oh, that's a coincidence. Shit. He bought like I feel like it was like hundreds of acres of land, too. It was like a significant amount of land. And they're just like, shit, man. Like, God just is rolling in it, I guess. What an easy way to live. Homie didn't even have a gun. He just walked up to a bank truck and just like, hey, there's a bomb under there. You can't do that now. The equivalent of that is accidentally seeing someone's credit card info. But even at that point, it's just like, oh shit, man, that's crazy. You can't steal $1 million now and get away with it. It's impossible. It's impossible. You can't do it. There are camera, dude. Like I live in a really suburban area. There's no there's no like convenience stores or anything near me. There's a camera on every fucking corner. There's a camera on every single fucking house. If I break into a house here, if I break into a house here, like my face is seen from 4 different angles. Like I am gonna be completely screwed. Oh my god, I still have that girl's credit card that just reminded me. It's so easy. It's like, dude, there's just you can just do shit. Like even if you, I'm sure by this point, she has called her credit card company saying the card was stolen, and the card's deactivated at this point. Cause like the only thing that you're missing is a pin. But even if you stole if you stole as much money as you could, it's completely insured. It's completely insured. Like you could steal $10,000 worth of money. You could go to fancy dinners every single fucking night. You can like as long as there's no spending limit, you're basically fucking riding high till it's turned off. I mean, you could be the biggest cocksucker ever. Like you could be like the most deplorable person ever and just live the high life for a few days. It's like, man, my Miata could really use some upgrades. My tank could be a little fuller. You could like you ever think about like at any point in the day or your life you could just be the biggest asshole that ever existed just because. I think about that a lot. POV the car is K swap next week. Like I think about that a lot. I'm like, you ever have like a conversation with just like a passerby on the street, and the biggest reason you're not mean to them because it's just like you just don't want to be mean. You could literally just like I don't know you. I could just call you like just every slur in the book and just walk away. Why would you do that? There's no reason. Like you could destroy friendships just with like just words. You could just be such a piece of shit. You could be such a piece of shit. Here, hold up. I need a pee really quick. I'll be right back. Banana. Did you make out with that short girl? Forgot to ask. Fuck the ads. What's going on, brothers? This be a real banana hour moment. I figured you'd be here. Hi. Don't like that. Get rid of it. Damn.
If I go yoink, what happens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude. Dude,
Hmm.
that episode last night.
Very, very, very good. I quite liked it.
I'm bro. Like that was something. I texted Evan because he's like, I'm not gonna be home till like 10:30. And I'm like, you need to fucking watch this the second you get home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was such a good episode. I mean, yeah, it was just very good. Not much to talk about
I
without
know.
spoiling it to anybody that did not watch it.
Like that's just Dave. That was a Dave Filoni, man. That was just
That was a Dave Filoni moment. Kind of lose from that. Oh no.
what happened, buddy.
I went from kind of losing from that to definitely losing. I just offered up a rook because I obviously didn't want it. You're so much better when you're just sitting here super chill than when you're absolutely rampaging.
Ooh, he likes violence. Give him violence.
He likes rampaging.
I want to drive something.
Could be down. What would you like to drive?
I've been really loving that fucking LMDH car.
It's a good one.
As far as where,
This is what's commonly referred to as not a fantastic spot.
that's what you get when you play chess, man. You just get in that position.
Yeah, do be happening like that sometimes.
I'm just gonna be going back and forth. Got food, dude. I need to get. I'm thinking about what to make for food today. Yeah, I pulled some like fucking ground turkey out. Pasta. I would make pasta, but like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm feeling like some fucking. I don't know. I don't know what I'm feeling. Got like a lot of meat in the fucking.
Where would
fridge.
you like to drive that LMDH car?
Well, let's look at what we got. All right, let's run through the tracks.
Oh, I see what'll happen here.
We got Interlagos, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Concord, Daytona, Langley,
Quit that, cat.
Lanier, Lima Land, Lime Rock, Long Beach, Mount Panoramic, Nürburgring, Okayama, Orne Park, Holton Park, Oxford Plains, Road America, Road Atlanta, Rudskogen, South Boston, Southern National, Summit Point, Thompson Speedway, Cuba, USA International, VIR, WeatherTech, Wild West, Willow Springs, and then the legacy tracks.
Dude, stop batting at my microphone.
It's so playful. Not a toy.
What? What?
What happened?
This guy didn't want his queen. So we're back to an even game.
This is what we call in the industry a blunder.
Yeah. This is an electric one, Max, let me tell you.
Oh, I bet. I really do. I live in the West.
This is an absolutely riveting game of chess.
I can hear the neurons firing.
You're so soft, dude. Why you got so many boogers? Always got boogers.
Booger bro.
Yeah.
Well, you ever know a little guy who doesn't have boogers? Why it just made me think of the picture of the cat. It just like, have you seen that meme of the cat? It's just like, this is what little kids look like when they cough. You know what picture I'm talking about?
No.
Really?
Not off the top of my head. Wait, hold on. No, never mind. Where? What is the move?
I'll never forget playing Sea of Thieves with Hayden, and he said east-west, and then corrected himself. And then corrected himself and said west-east, like no joke.
I do remember that, I think. God forbid I ask any of my fucking my group of scurvy sailors. God forbid I ask them what fucking direction we're going. Why can't I go there? Oh.
I feel like it's pretty easy to read a compass. Got all the directions.
You'd think that. You'd think that.
I would think that. I would. I'm a bit of a thinker.
All right. So we are going.
Don't even start that. Start that with my big fat ass. I run these rigs.
All right. Yes, you are the most tolerable crewmate. Dude, this game is absolutely disintegrated for my man Balele from Greece.
First
Oh
problem.
wait, no, Israel.
Use your L.
First problem. First problem.
He's not gaming, bro. I'm sorry, you could never get me into chess, man. Like, I tried.
Such an interesting game, though.
Just little guys moving around.
Yeah.
Oh, I want more than
Yeah.
a bunch of little guys.
And takes, dumbass.
But when I take something, I want there to be financial compensation. That's why I like poker. I get to take their little
He finally resigned because
He made a
Like
blunder.
he absolutely, with the one move right there, like how it was set up, if I had kept it the same when I first noticed it, because our knights were basically just staring at each other's queens. So it was
Right.
going to be a queen trade, but I was so far down in material that like it would have trading things is bad for me at that point because like I'm still losing. I'm just now still losing with less pieces to make it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I moved my queen to threaten the knight that was threatening me. And then he goes, "Oh, free pawn," and just takes a pawn with that knight and leaves my horse that's still staring at his queen. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. You lose."
Just huh? Huh?
Hmm?
Huh?
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 Where are we driving?
Well, I listed off some tracks to you. You didn't really give me heads or tails about them.
Yeah, it's 'cause I don't really have many opinions on that stuff.
God, why do tracks have to be
Why are these guys roasting this girl so hard?
Go on.
Aiden sent me this thing where it's like Autumn did amazing, graduated pre-K through COVID, and she's not the skinniest little girl. And he said
Aw.
comments, and the comments are, "Got lunch lady arms. You gonna eat that, Bill? Girl, that's not Autumn. That's all 4 seasons." Lizzo's baby pics. Yeah.
What the hell? Like, just a little kid. Leave him alone.
Did you see the video that I sent you of the bee?
No.
Okay.
Let me see.
Well, I sent it to you.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no!
What are you looking at now?
No, I'm still looking at. I had to watch it a few times because the comments popped up so fast. But I just saw like, "Are you immune to drowning in cum?" While the
Wait.
muffled screams of the bee are in the background.
Scroll up past the thing that I said this is sick. It is sick, but that's not. It's not funny. It's just cool. But scroll up to
The Justin Roiland one.
yeah. Play it with sound, loud sound.
And the boy who lived has come to die. Yeah, that's like that's scary, scary close. If you were to play that next to me doing it, people would have a hard time knowing which was which. Alright, this is that one scene in Harry Potter, except it's Lemongrass.
Isn't that the guy who's replacing him?
I think so. This is that one scene from Harry Potter, but instead of
With,
Voldemort,
but
it's
yeah,
lemon
but
grab. The one who lived.
Unmake me. Ice King. How do you taste? I don't know. Mild or spicy? Kind of lonely.
Asking something. Your mic was peaking the whole time. So like,
Stream heard it though.
but just the Ice King. How do you taste? I don't know. Good, I guess. Mild or spicy?
Ice King! How do you taste? I don't know. Kind of good, I guess. Mild or spicy? Kind of lonely.
By asking somebody, one, how they taste, and two, and giving them the only options are mild or spicy.
It's so good. It's so good. I love that episode within itself as a whole, too. Oh my god.
All right, let's drive, and then after driving, maybe a game or two while she's battling my bit till I remaster.
You want to do Road America?
We can. I feel like we can come up with a track that's more interesting.
I agree.
Because VIR was like so fun.
VIR was interesting. That was the
It's
first
like-
time I drove it.
It's a wheelman's track. I love that place.
You want to do Mount Panorama?
Yeah, we can.
All right, I'm ready to die. I just love when Justin Roiland talks about lemon grab, and just like every single time he had to do the voice, he was almost guaranteed to get a migraine. I love that. I love that little fact so much.
Move, cat. You're gonna get run over.
Now, I'm putting socks on.
That's like scary accurate. Like people would have a hard time knowing whether or not I did that. What is that? I feel like those wires weren't showing prior.
Oh no.
Oh, no, maybe not.
What did you do, you little home wrecker?
Oh, I didn't even consider him. I'm holding him right now.
You're in air jail.
Dude,
Stay
he
there.
goes in air jail a lot. I like, though, now that we have an understanding, he knows that he's not allowed on the desk, and he also knows what the water bottle means.
Knock it
So, like-
over.
No, like the spray bottle. And so, like, now when I see him walking, like, on the windowsill over to my desk, I go like, hey, and he like stops and just kind of and he's like slowly starts moving, and I just grab the spray bottle and point it at him, and then he backs away.
It's like, all right, Texas Red, you win this time. Let me slip on my shoesies. All right. Hopefully my pedals are working. That would be cool.
It's like I feel like I should drive the Porsche because I haven't yet,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I also really enjoyed myself on the Acura.
Acura.
There's a little orange maniac running around right now.
It's still not his turn with the brain cell, huh?
Nope. He doesn't get it very often. He's very sweet, but
just not a big thinker.
like no. Like the other night when we came home and I was trying to go to sleep, or actually no, it was more of the morning. I was trying to stay asleep for the little rest that I had. He was being a maniac on the bed, and I got tired of it, and I spritzed him when he was at the
Oh,
foot of the bed. Well, he's fine. It's water,
oh.
and I spritzed him, and he like obviously hates it. So when he gets spritzed, he normally runs away. But this fucking guy turns and just like absolutely launches himself into one of the metal bars on the foot of my bed.
Oh no!
Like head first. And you just hear dung, and then he like zips into one of the gaps that he was aiming for the first time. Like these gaps are not small either. Like he's made the jump hundreds of times. But just dung, I sat there and he hit his head so hard. I'm like,
You
I'm
okay,
like,
bro? Like,
yeah.
goddamn.
And he just kind of like, when he was on the floor, he just kind of like sat there, and I'm like, did he get a concussion?
You good, bro? You need a water or something? Like,
But then I thought about it. I'm like, there's not really enough brain matter in there to like risk hitting it against anything.
well, that's the
So
thing. I
he
just imagine
probably
like
isn't
like a Tom and
concussed.
Jerry bit where it just starts rattling back and forth. Is the session up?
It's pending, I believe. What?
I'm looking at just kind of the roster of shit, right? And I'm like, ain't no way someone's fucking name is Uno Simulator. His name is Uno Simulatorno. Simulatorne. And I'm like, bro, but all you can see is Uno Simulator. Man. Who's got a fucked up name here that we can make fun of?
Only you could hear this guy. He like sits still for a second and then and zips off.
Tom
Or it's a
Mail.
all right, session's up. Wait, I did not change the track.
Oh, are we doing Virginia again?
Well, I mean, I can make it
I mean, I'm
Bathurst.
down. I'm down for Virginia. I'd like to get the practice.
Let's do. I mean, whichever one you want. Like, I could just make the session again. It's 50 cents. It's not a.
No, I'm down.
I don't care.
I'm game.
Nah, I'd rather do Bathurst. I don't want
Bathurst?
to do it again. Yeah.
All right, fine.
Dude, you just slammed your fucking head again. I just felt it on my seat.
Why did you just keep running into things?
He's orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I wonder if like orange in animals is just equal stupid. Because I think about I'm like, my dog's kind of orange.
This fucking.
He's not very bright sometimes. What a menace! What a menace! What a menace! I'm sending this to you. This is the type of legal anarchy I'm all about. Like as these doors start closing, he just shoves his arm so they don't close.
I don't think he's doing it intentionally either.
No, he's totally doing it on purpose. Fuck that guy. I watch a lot of husky videos, and it makes me really, really glad that my dog doesn't scream.
I like the screaming husky videos.
He howls, but he
Ah.
doesn't scream. Oh, did you see the fucking like that Mexico supposedly showed off 2 alien bodies?
I did see that.
Like where I saw it on iFunny, and like all the comments were just like, "Hey man, this is really cool and all, but we just kind of got a lot going on." just like just so many cries for help.
All right, real session's up.
Real session. Real.
What do I want to try? I'm gonna drive the Acura.
It's between the Cadillac and the Cadillac. Cadillac.
Good choice.
And then we'll get rid of that. We'll do that. Yeah. All right, there we go. I want to get a rig. I want to get a cockpit. What do you do? I drive. No, still never seen that movie.
Me neither.
Eh. And then Iracing setups. Daring today, aren't we?
What are we doing? High
I just
downforce.
yeah. All right, pedals are working today, so that's a good
Hold
sign.
on, I don't have my headset on. All right. I will be able to hear you if you get on my desk and I am strapped.
I'm breaking all of my fucking V8 supercar lines and markers.
Let me do this.
Oh shit. Wow, that downhill braking zone's gonna be hard.
fucking moving.
Yeah, this is a very hard track on cold tires for this thing.
So much fun. Got a little too close to the wall. Alright, let me just fucking do my outlet. Are you driving the Porsche?
No, the Acura.
Oh, okay. Ooh-wee. Just refusing to let these tires warm up.
I can't really hear you.
No, I'm just talking to myself. Dude. This car is always so much wider than I think it is. I can't tell if I like first or second for the corkscrew. It's always so weird driving this track with something that has actual fucking aero. Like, I drive V8 supercars on here, like, way too much. Kind of I don't know. It's like I know what I'm doing wrong. I just don't really know how to put words to it quite yet. Like once this thing is like actually up to temperature, it feels very good. I know you can take that flat. I know you can. Like, I'm very much, it's like, dude, once I get, like, a good run going, like, especially at the start, where I'm just kind of feeling everything out, like, that's my best. Like, that, there's no other time, other than, like, full-on, like, full engagement. Like, dude, god damn it, man. Like, I'm throwing. Like, I can't even make it past the first sector. Like, everything was like, everything felt right. And then, like, and then you get that one crash and it throws you completely out of your rhythm. Just get the fucking tires warm. I'm still gonna be braking at a lot of my V8 supercar braking points because, like, it just, like, I know for a fact this thing was gonna stop. And especially on cold tires where I'm just like, I just want to actually make it a lap. Then another one. I don't know why my spotter is so distorted. I feel like as long as I'm just getting the optimal time down, that's all that really matters. I at least want to get like a 50. I'll be satisfied with a 50 because I spend way too much time on this track. I knew the second I missed my fucking apex. I knew the second I missed it. Like the exit, or like the start of the downhill is where it just... If you miss any one of the... If you miss any
If it
single
weren't
one,
for those two braking zones, this might have been a 48.
I'm also just trying to listen to the tires. I'm sure there's a faster way down the start of the downhill, but like, that just feels the safest, you know what I mean? Like you get one downshift at the start, and then the rest of it is after. I know I can break deeper for that, but definitely probably not there. And then that last corner, I'm braking super early. Alright, that's fine. feel like I wish I could like move my head around because like I just it is really hard to gauge like just where everything is on a just flat surface. Chipping away time, that's all that matters. I'm gonna try fourth through there next run. But I feel like the fourth on entry, third on in the middle is good because you get that momentum of fourth and then you get the output of third. That doesn't really make much sense. I need to be braver through there. Why did you just do that? It just went zoop. It sucks. Alright.
Damn it, man. That would have been a blister, but I made so many mistakes.
I'm just trying to get a 50.
If you haven't already, you might want to watch like a few laps of mine right now while you have time to like implement stuff.
Yeah, like I know what I'm doing wrong. It's more or less just putting it together. A lot of it is like I'm using a lot of references from the V8 supercars, and I'm braking early for a lot of stuff. That's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you can use my like reference points on my fast. I mean, don't use the lap that I just ran because like it was not good. But in terms of like execution,
Yeah.
well, like I mean, in terms of general reference points. Actually, yeah, use the lap that I just did because I did wheel it through some parts.
Yeah, next time I crash, I'll do that. really locking. It just fucking shoots me to the right.
Actually, if I complete this lap, you should watch this one. But I still got a couple corners to go. Woo! That was a heater.
All right, let's see it.
Wowza.
Like I feel like one of my worst corners on this entire track is turn 1. I can never just hit it right ever.
Yeah, you just kind of float in more speed than you think.
For the start of the uphill, are you in 3rd or 4th?
Pretty.
Like for
I'm in 3rd for that corner.
Okay. Yeah, like I know exactly like what I'm doing. It's like I'm watching it and I'm like, I know it's like as I'm driving it, I know where my faults are, and it's just getting a little frustrating because I'm just like, when you're going so like when you're in the zone and you're in the moment, right? And then you're just like, I know I could have cut that closer. I know I could like that's the thing with this track is that like I had the same problem in the V8 Supercar is that like you have to use every inch of this track. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to get down to this, like to knock a few seconds off. You don't have to be quite as precise. Like, all you have to make sure that you're doing is that you're like relatively close to the wall. But you don't have to be like in the previous lap I ran on the downhill, downhill braking, like I scraped the wall. And I like just brushed it. But I mean, this lap was faster and I didn't touch it, and I was could have definitely been closer. Like it's just, and this is the most important part is just carrying your speed.
yeah.
Like carrying your speed just and I mean, if it feels smooth, it will probably be fast. Like that's what I'm doing is like not just bombing it off on and being super like sketchy on entry. Just I'm being just smoother and floating in a lot more speed.
Like for the most part, I feel like I'm pretty okay with that, especially on Bathurst, because I want to say this is the track I put the most time in on. There are just definitely things where I'm just like, I know I'm not getting close enough to that wall. I know I'm braking in a weird spot. Like there's like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't be sending it so hard on cold tires.
I mean, your tires are up to temp after like one lap. Like that lap I just ran was my second lap.
You can be wide open through this section with cold tires. And also something to keep in mind, like for mostly the high speed stuff, is the faster you go, the more downforce it'll
Yeah,
have.
that's what I've been feeling. I just it's like whenever I'm trying to fix one problem, like a new
That's just
problem
on the
starts.
brakes. That's just being on the brakes too hard. What just happened to you?
I know. It's like I'm trying to listen to the tire, and like it just doesn't make a sound through there, and I'm just like, and then it just snaps and it's over.
I think I think I mean you'll just kind of get feel, like
Yeah.
you'll gain the feel through there. It's more of like, I know when I go through there and I feel like I'm blocking up or like sketched out or whatever, like I just have like a sense about it. I go off
Yeah.
of any like
Well, the thing is that like I feel
cue.
like I'm at the same point. I might be just giving it a little more pressure than usual, and that just might be the thing that's
Well,
making it worse.
also I think what it was more of is that you have to keep in mind too that you're going up over a hill, so you have to, when you're on the brakes at first, you have to let off of them as you're cresting over the hill,
Yeah.
and then you can get back on them. But if you're on them hard when the car's really light, it's just gonna lock them up immediately, especially with these things that are rear biased. It's like brakes, let off a little, then brake again. Also, being in the middle, you're dragging the bottom of the car and slowing yourself down a little. Right there, honestly, you brake a little too deep.
Really?
I like am at the 150 marker and take third gear through there.
For
And there,
turn
you're on
one?
the brakes way too hard.
For
What?
turn
No.
one?
Wait, am I live with you?
I
Oh
don't.
no, I'm not. Sorry, I'm behind.
I don't know. I was talking about through the chase.
Okay.
Now I'm live with you. Don't lift, it will grip.
I know, but
You have to be wider through there. That's why you couldn't take it flat. Second gear. That was better.
very early.
So you want to drive like to the center of the corner. You're driving more of like the straight line and then turn, and then by then you're so slow that you have to get on the throttle like before you're even at the apex. Try to like, just as a general thing, don't release the brakes until the apex. And if you're overslowed, then just note that for the next time and drive in deeper.
Okay, I'll try to keep all that in mind.
That barely. Oh. So you had to be on the throttle a little bit through that whole little section right there because you were too slow.
Okay.
And you're on the throttle super early there because you're too slow. And you just intuitively know that you should be going faster, and that's why you're on the throttle. So if you find yourself not going to wide open like immediately, I mean, this isn't a great rule, but for just to get the habit, you don't find yourself going to like wide open immediately, it's because you're too slow. Like when you get to it, you want to commit to it. Don't really be cognizant of if you're cracking it for a while. Like cracked forever.
Yeah, you were pointing out, and I was noticing things as I was going through. I was kind of just more or less trying to get through it like slower, just trying to more see things as they were happening.
Yeah.
And feeling it out.
Yeah, and you're like threshold braking for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're like you're braking and slowing down too hard. You're keeping threshold braking for too long. Like you're want to be on it and then start trailing it off like fast. And you always want to be on the edge of like understeer.
Mm-hmm.
Like all you're doing with the brakes is just slowing down enough. You're not slowing down to make the corner, you're slowing down enough to make the corner, if that makes sense.
It does.
Like your only goal is to live with the brakes. Like that's the point.
Yeah, you still want to maintain like a momentum through it. And like for a lot of the like the last corner is definitely and for the it's probably why I'm so slow through the first corners because I'm not letting the car just kind of do its thing. I'm slowing down way too much too quickly and then I have to regain that momentum and it just equals time loss.
Yeah. If you go live with what I'm doing on Iracing, I kind of want to illustrate.
All right, we're good.
Are you with?
Yeah, I'm with
Are you with me? Okay, I'm on cold tires, so just be. So I mean, this section's easy. It's just like flat out. Like I'm on cold tires right now. I just left the pits, and all it is just sweeping. Like it will stick. But then like through this section, don't wreck. That was a bad example. I meant to brake earlier, but you're like there, and then you're cracked forever, and then get to it.
Because that's my braking point for the V8 supercar, and that's just
and that's okay to use the same braking point, just use less pressure.
Right.
And you were getting better through here.
Yeah, it was feeling better through here.
Well, like, listen to when I pick up the third. Actually, I think you should, and you do a thing where you're like that and then crack and then get to it. You should turn your engine noise back up because a lot of what you need right now is just hearing like the natural sounds of the motor. Because like you can't hardly hear the throttle with how your setup is, and I feel like it's important because you might not register exactly what's happening. But it's all about just hitting the brakes enough to get there.
Right.
And for long enough, because if I do something like this and then I'm here cracked forever, I'm just losing because I could have carried in more.
You could have carried more speed for longer.
Yeah, and I could have carried more speed for longer, and it just slows my momentum down.
And it was on an uphill. You just have a lot. factoring in to just maintain momentum.
Yeah, and then just momentum there, and I cracked throttle too early, which put me behind. But like, I'm barely on the brakes, and now I'm hard on the brakes to really get slowed down. And also, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's nothing happening over here versus if I go here, just dragging the floor.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if you could hear it.
I did hear it. Yeah, it's a very different sound.
And instead of being like here and just like instead of doing that, it gave me a nice run down the straight, but it's floating in speed. It's all like it's all just floating in speed. That's literally everything. And then with carrying in a lot more speed, you're gonna have to wait on the throttle more just because like you'll crash.
Right.
But try to like note the engine sounds that I have in my corner and then listen for it.
It's a little difficult because for some reason I don't know if it's just me. When I'm watching the Acura in particular on replays, the engine cuts in and out randomly. Like the sound.
Yeah, yours does that too.
Yeah.
Or just I'll try to drive like this so you can see my brake traces. I moved my field of view back.
Oh, I can't see you move your field. Oh wait, are you streaming to Discord?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what you're watching.
Yeah, this is much better.
Can you see that like when I'm normal?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can just look normal.
Yeah, you're off the brakes so much faster than I am.
I'm on the what?
You're off the brakes substantially faster than I am. Like bleeding off.
Yeah. Because like I'm done with the big portion of slowing down immediately.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Versus like this is kind of what you do up here.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
It's like being over here and driving in.
Yeah, on those two on the last and first corner I notice it the most. Like you're just not letting the car do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
It's like how Nate usually says. It's more or less just a guide. Like you just need to.
The brakes is pretty much like for just making sure you don't die.
Right.
Like, and it's not braking so that you can turn in necessarily. It's like braking initially so that you can, and then as you go into the corner, you're just guiding the car with your foot
Right.
and just go into the center until you're just barely off. You're just keeping the fronts engaged a little.
Right.
Did you turn your engine noise up?
Oh no, I didn't.
I think you should. It's like
Yeah,
once you get to like Nate's level, the tire noise is probably better, but I think just as a
we'll put it at 10.
at the beginning, it's probably. Oh shit! Hold on. Why did she call me?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna call her back real quick.
All right, I'll work on my thing. Oh yeah, we're gonna be going into the wall a lot to feel this out. We want to find maximum pressure and lead off as fast as possible while getting the car slowed down enough to make the car make the corner. Honestly, dude, there are very few corners better than the turn two of Bathurst. That's fine. I'm totally fine. We just keep crashing this fucking thing because I really do want to feel this out. I'm trying to hear the differences in sound.
Did you hear how long you cracked the throttle at after the downhill brakes?
I wasn't paying attention to it. Great.
Brake like at the 150. That was like the 125.
Okay.
Keep rolling. I'm sure you're fine. So now use the brake pedal how you would otherwise, like how you would normally, but put your peak pressure at half. So like do everything, so do the same foot like tracing or whatever, but just your peak pressure, make a conscious effort to be half of what it normally is. That was better there.
That felt better.
That was just you got throttled too soon and released the brakes a little too soon. But like brake at like maybe the 160 here, like before the 150,
Okay.
and just kind of use like half of the brake pressure that you would. I'm second gear through there, and you're releasing the brakes too fast still, and then getting to the throttle too soon, and that's what's causing you to plow. So now you're still a little underslowed, but you're not as much as you were, so you can't get away with as much throttle as you got away with before, because you're just gonna plow off the track, and that's why you keep plowing. We'll also do this challenge for you, Max.
Okay.
So keep the brakes at like half, but don't touch the throttle until you're unwinding the wheel. Like make the conscious the note of like, I'm not gonna touch the throttle no matter what until my hands are unwinding. That way you're forced to wait until like you're exiting. See how slow you are?
Yeah.
So then, all right, we're gonna just carry in a little more brake speed this time. See?
Yeah, that's actually a lot better visualizing what you're doing.
Now, just like, all right, I've been too slow, so let's maybe be braver on the brakes. You don't have to be straight to get to the throttle, but
Right.
like as soon as your hands are starting to return to neutral from the corner, now wait. See how long you're on it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
You were on it too long.
Yeah. I can
Like
feel it.
you just barely crack it, and it's maybe not noticeable in your foot, but you can hear it.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fine. Oh, I have wheel damage. Oh, it didn't like that.
No, it did not. And now, if you want to go back to my stream,
Yeah, I'm
and
watching.
now with kind of the listening cues that we've
Uh-huh.
gathered. Are you watching?
Yeah, I'm watching. I noticed it a lot through that section.
You notice it what?
I noticed it a lot through the high speed, like the high speed left and to the right. Yeah, right here.
This one? The
Yeah,
chase?
the chase. Yeah. I noticed it substantially more through like more hard braking zones, but the concept is still the same with less input.
Yeah. But like especially compared to you and like how you were even when you were slowed down and trying to wait, it was just a barely for
Yeah.
you. Like just barely enough to like where you hear it, but not you wouldn't really feel accelerating, and then this is just I'm just waiting forever. Like you would probably get on the throttle like here
Mm-hmm.
because you're too slow, and I wait until there. Like I'm in the corner. And then don't get on it till there. Like in it there. And it's just like, yeah, it's just being smooth and
Yeah, that
more
was very interesting.
guiding the car around.
You know, I feel like I got a lot out of that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I think the like turning up the sound again so you can hear it, because you like when I would listen to the cars in your stream, I couldn't hear the engine like at all.
Mm.
And especially when you're barely touching it like that, where it's probably like guaranteed, like you don't even really feel that you're doing it.
Yes, 100%. Like I have the where my where like the little box that shows you like your all your pedal inputs. It's like I have it like right in front of me, but even though it's in front of me, I'm still like not really actively focusing on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like just like calling it out like that made it like more apparent, because then I started like actually like watching that little box,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, okay, so now I can actually get a physical feel for like what it is I'm doing, and now I can try and go back and hit the mark again.
Yeah, and I feel like too what was helpful was like waiting until you're unwinding the wheel to
Yeah, that
get
was
to
a
the
big
throttle.
one.
And just forcing yourself to wait, and then you're like, wow, I'm way too fucking slow.
And
And
yeah,
then
that
through
was a
there
really
you,
good one.
through there, it's like, all right, I'm way too slow, but I can't. The rules of this game are I'm not allowed to touch the throttle until I unwind my wheels, so I need to carry speed somehow in a different way,
Right.
which is just floating in a lot more speed.
Basically
I
just
think those of
soapboxing
like,
it.
yeah, it's like, I think the using half the brake pressure that you think you should, or like as like a peak, I almost would go as far as to say of like put a hard stop at like halfway
Hmm.
on your brake, just so that you can't go any further. But then that might get in the habit, because you might go against it and be like, all right, maxed out. And then if you give yourself that extra room, you'll max it out.
Yeah.
But like that
I'll just
idea.
work on the working on the muscle memory more or less, which will be good. Because like I saw like I could like towards the end I definitely like felt it.
Mhm.
It was more or less like what corners were to implement it, because there were some corners where I would try and like kind of half break it, and I'm like, nah, you should probably be full here, and then
I think every corner you were slow, you were
I was definitely like, oh
overslowed.
yes, 100%. I was
And
very much
so
overslowed.
you could get away with less brake pretty much everywhere.
And on like a track, I feel like a track like Bathurst, and I might try it on other tracks, but like that really felt like very apparent of just like, oh, okay, like yeah, like the just absolutely massive degradation of speed. Um,
Yeah.
it just comes back to it once again. Like my biggest problem is definitely braking, because now I feel like before I was not modulating enough. Now it more or less is just kind of like now I'm doing it too much,
No, you're still not
or I'm
modulating
still not
enough,
modulating enough.
because you're like threshold braking for a while, and then you're overslowed.
Mm-hmm.
And you're only overslowed because you're not because you're braking too early. You're braking at fine markers.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually say maybe too deep, generally, but like you're
on it for so long that you're overslowed, and then
Right.
you're behind, and then you have to get to the throttle sooner than you otherwise would want to because you feel you're overslowed because you are, and then it puts you behind everywhere. So it's literally like I would maybe say too to add to the rules of like that game of like you can't unwind the throttle or you can't get to the throttle until you unwind the wheel, and you can't release the brake until you get to the throttle.
Okay.
Because that's pretty much what I do. Like I think on my telemetry actually there was a bunch of overlap between I was still barely on the brakes when I got to the throttle.
Mm-hmm.
Just like doing the last little bit of slowing down because I don't want any time where I'm like neutral rolling and not
Yeah.
on anything. So I'd say if you kind of incorporate into the like driving now of like those rules of you can't get on the throttle until you unwind the wheel, and you can't release the brake until you get to the throttle,
Mm-hmm.
will help a lot and just kind of make everything a lot smoother. Because then it's all kind of one fluid motion because they are. It's not you getting off the brakes, then getting onto the throttle and turning. It is like on the brakes as you're turning in and then getting to the throttle as you're turning away. And it's you go from 100% brake and trail it down to zero. And then at pretty much zero, you go from 0% throttle to 100. And it's like a smooth flow.
Mm-hmm.
There's an ambulam outside.
Ambulance.
A smooth flow.
All right. Now what? I think I'm gonna call stream here. That'll be a good idea. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here. One more minute. One more minute. One more minute.
Oh.
I was not planning on going this long day, but that's okay. Busters Bounce. All right, I'm gonna call it here today. Little. I'm gonna go work on some iRacing stuff. Okay, love you fuckers. See you when I see you. Mwah.